Good morning, Forrest.
Hello,
How are you?
Lonnie. How's it going?
Really good, really well. So we have a special guest, Sarah Tyndall. And Sarah, we've known each other for what, 20 years?
20 years, yeah.
Prince William Association of Realtors. Wow, it seems like so long ago.
I know. The time went fast, right?
Yeah,
That's cool. So 20 years ago. So you moved here after you got married. Where'd you move from?
Moved from Richmond, Virginia. My husband and I are both native born from Richmond and moved up here. And yeah, we've been in Manassas, Bristow, and now we're out in Haymarket.
Haymarket. And what year was that? What year are we in, Lonnie?
2004. So that was the year I was president of PWAR.
Yeah.
So that's great. Yeah. So since then, tell us what you've been up to.
Been busy.
I know.
Been busy. So at PWAR, I was the events planner and then had two little boys, had two kids, and took some time away from the corporate world, away from work. And I was a stay-at-home mom and just kind of loving life. And one day, just sitting on my couch, scrolling through Facebook, and I came upon a friend who had a friend, and her friend needed clothing for her 4 kids. She had left a bad situation, and she was just looking for clothes in certain sizes. And I thought, I could probably help this lady. And so I started reaching out to friends and neighbors and collecting children's clothing. And I was able to provide this lady with beautiful clothes for all 4 of her children when she was kind of in a precarious time of her life. And after that, I thought, I might be able to help a few more people. And so the idea for Boxes of Basics, which is a local nonprofit now, was born basically from my kitchen table.
That's awesome. And so you lead the nonprofit, right? They're located right here in Prince William County.
Right. So I'm the founder and executive director of Boxes of Basics. Okay. And we started in my basement. My husband's lovely. I said, hey, honey, I have this idea. I want to help kids. I want to provide clothing to local kids in need. I just need this tiny part of our basement. And bless his heart, he said yes. And the first year that we were open in 2018, we had 100 volunteers walk through my front door. And he would come home from work and my kids would be crawling around on the floor. And we'd have all these volunteers sorting clothes in the basement, and it looked like a thrift store, basically. We took over the entire basement. And so that's kind of how we got started, just homegrown, organic basement.
How many years ago was that?
It was 2018.
Okay.
And we did shut down during COVID just because it was in my home. And so we took a pause. And then finally, we were able to move out of the basement. We moved to a church rectory here in Old Town Manassas.
Okay.
And we were there for about 2 years. And last year, we were able to get enough funding and gain enough support that we've moved to a very large warehouse space over off of Hornbaker and Mike Garcia Drive in Manassas. And so, yeah, it's grown substantially.
So how many families are you providing resources for at this point?
Yeah, so basically the way it works is that we collect these gently used children's clothing, and we do that in a variety of ways. We have 10 donation drop-off locations throughout Prince William, Manassas, and Manassas Park. And they're businesses. We have a nice relationship with Haymarket Police Station, so they're a drop-off location for us as well. So people bring us their clothing, and then we have volunteers that bring the clothes to the warehouse. We sort through the clothes. We make sure that they're in, premium condition, no stains, no rips, no tears. We have volunteers then come to the warehouse and we design seasonal wardrobes for local kids in need.
Oh, wow.
And so I'll tell you about what's in a box in just a minute. But this year alone, we've been able to provide 2,000 local children who are facing clothing insecurity, amongst other challenges, with an entire seasonal wardrobe. And since we launched, that number is well over 5,000 local kids that we've helped.
Impressive.
It's been exciting.
Awesome. All from your vision.
All from the basement.
That's great. That's great. Well, tell us a little bit about what's inside those boxes.
Sure. So when I was designing Boxes of Basics, I had also kind of around the same time ordered Stitch Fix for myself. Have you ever done the box subscription?
Yeah, I was addicted to
Clothing.
that for a while. And my
Right.
wife said, nope,
Enough.
got to stop that. They deliver like a box of clothing to your house on a monthly or semi-monthly basis based upon your style and what you like and your size. And it's not inexpensive,
Right.
but it's a great idea.
Yeah. Whatever you keep, you pay for, and if something doesn't fit, you can send it back. So about that time, I had gotten Stitch Fix, and I was like, "This is so great! Here is this beautiful box, and all these, different pieces of clothing were wrapped in tissue paper." And I thought, "Wow, that's really cool." And so I thought, why don't we take that concept and design a box that contains everything a kid would need for the season, but let's package it in a way that really elevates it. So we're not giving a trash bag of clothing to a child in need.
Yeah.
We're really creating and giving a gift. So every Box of Basics contains about 6 school or everyday outfits. It contains 4 play outfits. So that's, athletic pants, a t-shirt, something like that. We include a layering piece, which is a sweatshirt. We include a pair of pajamas, a dress up outfit or a Sunday best type outfit. So maybe it's picture day and we put a dress in there for girls, khakis, and a collared shirt for boys. We give them a pair of tennis shoes, new. We give them socks. And we have a great partnership with Bombas. So all brand new Bombas socks.
That's awesome.
They get a pack of new underwear, an age appropriate book, a dental kit. And then, so they're getting an entire wardrobe. And then we take it one step further. We wrap and we label every outfit. So when that child gets this box, they get to open up about 10 little packages of a wardrobe that was designed just for them.
That's awesome. And whether or not someone has food insecurities or clothing insecurities, there's a level of, it's not a place they want to be. Right. And there's a little bit of a level of embarrassment to show up someplace and, like you said, a plastic bag full of clothes. I mean, you not only provide a valuable resource, but you give them dignity all at the same time.
That's what we say. Our boxes are packed with dignity and compassion. And so
a lot of love.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head. That's what we do.
That's so nice.
Yeah. And then the kids that we help, I'll tell you a little bit about our model because people often ask, where do you find the children that you help? And so the way that our model is designed is that all of the kids that we helped are referred to us through a third party. So we look to those professionals who are on the front lines, working with kids, working with families, school social workers, regular, social workers, guidance counselors, other nonprofits. We partner with other nonprofits all the time. Food pantries. We work with CASA, the court-appointed special advocates. So we have an online portal that our referring partners go to, and they fill out a form that tells us all about the kid, their size, their shoe size, their jacket size, their clothing preferences. Maybe it's a little boy and he likes red and dinosaurs. And so again, when we're curating these boxes and these wardrobes, we put a lot of care and thought into it. So if he likes superheroes, we can hopefully pull a little superhero shirt. And we really want to make it tailored and designed for that child.
That's great. Yeah, the extra touch. Right? Well, I tell you what, I know Forrest and Tammy and our group at Next Home in Manassas spent some time in your warehouse, and they got to know your volunteers, got to know your mission. And Forrest, why don't you tell our viewers, our commitment level at this point with regards to nonprofit?
So our commitment level is every settlement we have. So if you use Next Home, the agency group Manassas, every settlement that goes to settlement, we're going to give $250 to Boxes of Basics, and it will go directly from the settlement table. So when we settle, when it settles, the money will immediately go to Boxes of Basics on every settlement, so they get it in real time, so they can use it now. And we're going to do that for the foreseeable future. We're going to continue to do it because they're going to continue to work hard for our kids. how many folks would you say are part of your organization? I remember when we were there visiting you, you said that I think it was either 70 or 75 just delivery people, drivers.
Mhm. Yeah. So I always say that Boxes of Basics is this organization for the community, fueled by the community. And I mean, we've had 1,000 volunteers walk through the front door of that warehouse this year alone. Those are individual volunteers, those are group volunteers. We have companies that come through and volunteer together. But in addition to all of the volunteers, I mean, we work with so many churches, businesses, organizations, and groups who host donation drives for us. I mentioned we have 10 businesses that are donation drop off locations. So we've really worked hard to make sure that we're bringing in the entire community around this cause of helping kids facing clothing insecurity. So, aside from the 1,000 volunteers physically in the warehouse, I mean, we're really talking, I would say, thousands of people in the community that support us, that show up. Maybe you can't volunteer in the warehouse, but you're going through your kids' clothes and bringing them to one of our donation locations. So it's been a pretty amazing experience to see just the community get behind this mission.
So let's say that there's somebody that is watching this podcast and says, something, I would just love to get involved. We've talked about drivers. We've talked about actually going through, lightly used clothes and bringing them to one of your donation centers. People can donate financially. They can assist and donate. So what other ways can people help you?
Sure. First of all, our website, www.boxesofbasics.org, is a wealth of information. And, I would love to have anyone's help who wants to get behind this cause. They can come to the warehouse. They can help us sort clothes. They can help pack boxes for local kids in need. They can organize a donation or collection in their neighborhood, at their church, in their business. And so there's so many ways to get involved. And then if you are an expert in a certain field, maybe you are a marketing guru, maybe, you're an accountant and want to help us on the business side of things, I'm always open and willing to talk to those professionals who can bring their expertise to help us run the organization better as well. So we have so many ways to get involved. We also have special events, and maybe you can't come to the warehouse and volunteer, but you can show up to one of our special events, and that's also another way of supporting us. And finally, just liking us on social media, following us, sharing our mission. We've grown organically by word of mouth from the very beginning. And so that's such an easy way to help us, is just to kind of get the word out. Hey, there's this great local organization. They're making an impact in the lives of children right here in our community, and this is how you can help us. We've delivered boxes to almost every single elementary and middle school in Prince William County, and it's pretty amazing. And the need, I didn't even realize it was a thing. The need is huge. And so it's just the resources, the clothing, it's all here. And the people who need it are here. And we just connect the two. And so we love to get anyone involved that's willing to help.
That's great. And Forrest and I are always talking about, in business where you have a system, you have a structure, and you can help so many more people and be so much more efficient if if everybody knows what the system is, and you have all of these players like feeding into your nonprofit, making a difference, which is impactful. My question for you is, like, you've done such a great job in Prince William County. Have you thought about taking this to other places?
We have. So I'm working really hard, especially this year, to create a replicable model.
Okay.
So to make sure, again, that we have those back end systems and processes in place, that I really do feel like we have something that we could expand to other locations. And my focus is to perfect those processes the best that I can. So when we're ready to make that expansion, it'll be hopefully seamless and perfect. I know nothing is, but that's
Sure.
the goal, right? So we have thought about it, and we've had some interest from other jurisdictions, and that's definitely something that is in my long-term goal planning. And I think it's something that's very attainable as well.
Yeah,
And, the model's here, the kids, the need is there. And so I think we can, I'm hopeful that we can make that happen.
that's great. Well, you need to talk to me about South Carolina.
I'm fine with
Think
that.
we could do that.
I'm happy to visit anytime. You live in a nice place.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, that's a good excuse for a trip.
Absolutely.
The it's just these kids, it's you put your clothing on, it's how you feel, it's how you're entering.
Confidence.
Yeah, it just is, and not having it. And what I love is it doesn't make any difference in the county where it is. There is a need everywhere, every school, every community, and you have the right people in place to identify those needs and get to those kids that it sometimes can just be overlooked or forgotten, and the pride that they must have.
Well, that's such a huge part of it is it's not clothing insecurity alone. I mean, that's a symptom of larger issues, right?
Sure.
And so, just an example of a story, a social worker from an elementary school emailed me and she said, "Can you help this boy, second grade?" And he was wearing baby socks and getting blisters on his feet because his shoes were too tight. And as a mom and just as a human, I'm like, there's no reason in the area that we're in that, or really anywhere, that this should be a problem for that kid. This is something that he's already facing enough. He shouldn't have to go to school and feel like that. And so we're not going to solve all of his issues or problems by this box, but we're going to, the social worker came back to me because I gave him a box. I think I put 4 pairs of shoes in that box. I didn't care. I was like, oh, here. But she said, he was just, you could see the relief on his face. And we set these kids up to be, maybe they wouldn't raise their hand and answer a question in school because they didn't feel confident. But now that they do, we're setting them up hopefully for academic success. We're having an impact on their mental health. And it's just so simple. It's just, you just think it's just clothes. It's a pair of shoes. It's a winter coat to keep you warm. And that's one thing I really am proud about Boxes of Basics is that we help children facing a variety of challenges. So we're not just saying we only help kids that check this one box. We help children that are in the foster care system. We help children that are with refugee families that just came to this country with nothing. We help children that have been victims of domestic violence. We help kids that maybe they're in a single parent household, the parents working hard, but they just can't provide. And so you don't have to necessarily fit in a certain box or mold for us to help you. And I think that we're catching a lot of the kids that maybe don't qualify for all the services that are out there in the county. But hopefully by giving them a seasonal wardrobe, we're setting them up for success. And then we're giving some relief to the family. So maybe they can take that money and go
Catch
buy
up.
food,
Yeah.
catch up, pay a bill. So that's really the whole idea behind it. It's much bigger than just clothes, right?
Well, you've inspired me this morning. That's for sure. What a great, um, I, I mean, the vision initially, how you came up with it, and how you actually, instead of just sitting back and thinking, oh, I want to do this one day, you actually did it, which is impressive and says a lot about you, about your character, and what you bring to the table. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we want to be right there with you. We want to be there to support you and anything that we can do. Don't you agree, Forrest?
Absolutely agree. And this time of the year, folks are they really want to help. They have huge hearts and they want to help. But January will come, and February will come, and March will come, and you're there always. Always. It isn't a time of the year. Every month, every week, every day. And for all the people that aren't able to thank you, we want to thank you for all that you do.
Thank you guys. And thanks for just taking notice of the work that we do and getting behind us and supporting us. And it's just going to make an enormous difference. And thank you for having me today also.
All right. Well, thank you, Sarah. We really appreciate it. John, you want to take us out?
Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in to episode 8 of RE in Real Time. A big thank you to our guest, Sarah Tyndall, for sharing an incredible work she's doing with Boxes of Basic. Her nonprofit is making a meaningful difference in the lives of children and families in need, and we hope her story inspired you as much as it did us. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to RE in Real Time on your favorite podcast platforms. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time on RE in Real Time.
All right.
That was so good.